Well, every day we walk among people that we think we know, but do you really have any idea what drives people like your dentist?
Yeah, what motivates your mail carrier? What hidden talents does your favorite teacher have? Well, our Robin Nance uncovered a local police officer with a passion that's a bit unconventional. Here's her special report, Crime Writer or Crime Fighter.
Kopriva shut off his headlights out of habit as he swung into the Circle K at Market and Euclid. As he pulled up to the front of the store just to the north of the doors, his mind did a double take. A short, slender white male with long black hair was holding a gun on the clerk inside.
The streets you drive every day uneventfully are the same stomping grounds for fictional characters fighting off bad guys, drug dealers, kidnappers, murderers. In this book, it's Spokane. In these, a fictional Lilac City.
Spokane and the fictional Spokane River City, I think, make a great setting because they're big. It's big enough to have some of the problems that bigger cities have, and certainly if you fictionalize it a bit and extend it a bit, it can have even bigger problems. But it's still small enough that it has a little bit of a small town feel to it.
The main characters are police officers. The creator, the man behind the keyboard, a crime fighter himself. Spokane Police Major Frank Scalise.
I always felt like I was a writer.
Avid readers of crime fiction may not recognize the name Frank Scalise, but would know Frank Zafiro, his pen name. He tells tales with intrigue and mystery, with his brothers in blue at the heart of every story.
I hope that with some of the characters in River City that it shows how those officers are real breathing people with struggles and with failures and with strengths and real heroism.
And that heroism, he's seen it firsthand, lived it. He's been a police officer nearly 20 years and a writer most of his life. And he just takes what he knows and cranks up the imagination, as he did in one of his books using this intersection.
Cincinnati was just west of Hamilton. Well, 1 or 2 west anyway.
The stop would have happened about right here.
But which way? Was Jackson north or south of this street? Payne gripped the steering wheel, white-knuckled, deathly afraid to reach for his street locator and reveal to his FTO that he didn't know the answer.
In a scene from his first River City novel, Under a Raging Moon, an officer is shot and killed by a strong-armed robber at Jackson in Cincinnati.
I take the kernel of the reality of what police work is, and the flavor and the sense of it and the colors and the textures, and then I roll them all up and blow them all up and exaggerate them to Timbuktu.
Scalise, who grew up in Deer Park, has written more than a dozen books, some under his given name, but started writing crime fiction River City novels under the name Zafiro, unsure what the brass would think about his pastime. But it hasn't been an issue. Now, with his co-workers, that's another thing.
Guy the other weekend, was calling me the Book of the Month Club, and that's, it's pretty funny, actually.
Friends and co-workers wonder if they'll end up as characters in the books.
Every other character really is just drawn from composites or characteristics or just out of thin air, I guess.
However, only some of the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
The Thomas Chisholm character.
Thomas Chisholm is a veteran officer, a warrior, the one who the other officers look to for leadership. That character was based on real-life retired officer Tom Chapman. He, of course, asked permission.
I was afraid he'd tell me no. He was flattered and said that's great, and he told me to get Tom Chisholm a girlfriend was about his only request.
What Scalise hopes his readers gain, besides a really good read, is an understanding of the people behind the badge.
And I look around my own department, and these officers, it doesn't matter what happens, it doesn't matter how many difficulties in their personal life or the department as a whole encounter, these officers show up at work every day with the attitude of going out and catching bad guys and doing a good job for the people in this community. And that is so heroic to me.
In Spokane, Robin Nance, KXLY 4 HD News.
And you'll see more from Frank Scalise, a.k.a. Zafiro. He has more stories in the works.
He definitely knows what he's talking about, that's for sure. And he's also a featured author at Spokane's Get Lit events. That's coming up in April, and you can check out our community sites on KXLY.com. There's a photo essay and an article about our crime writer and crime fighter.
Well, another beautiful day today, and our chief meteorologist, Chris